Hello, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. It's your girl, Kamie Crawford. And today, we're selling it. We have the star of Selling Sunset, agent and vice president of Oppenheim Group, and newly titled author.
Hello.
Mary Bonnet is
Hi.
in the building. Hey, Mary.
How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so excited to talk to you. I was just saying 5 seconds ago that I was like, wait, no, I can't tell you. I have to tell you on camera because when my best friend, who is the biggest Selling Sunset fan in the world, listens to this, she's going to want to know that I told you that Fumi says one thing about Mary, she can sell a motherfucking house.
Well, thank you. I try.
You do it. She told me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched the show,
Yeah.
but I haven't watched it as religiously as the entire world obviously has.
Yeah.
It is such a phenomenon.
Mhm.
And it's created so many other franchises and I would say ripoffs. Would you say the same?
Well, thank you. I mean, we are the OGs,
Right.
but yeah, there've been a lot of people trying to duplicate it,
Yeah.
and yeah, it just doesn't work quite as well. But
Yeah.
keep trying.
You can't replicate the magic. I don't know what it is about you girls when you come in these full cunty looks, like face beat, heels on, jewelry. Like, how long does it take you to get ready really before you start filming?
Oh, about 2 hours.
It has to.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah.
And does everyone share glam or everyone has their
No.
own? Everyone has their own teams.
Yeah.
I feel like that would cause more drama than probably what's on the
Oh,
show.
we could never share. I mean, have you ever watched a show? I mean,
Yes.
that would be cat fights from like first thing when we wake up, and
Literally.
you're taking too long. Da, da, da. Like
Literally.
it's crazy in there.
I know. I know. But you are like the peacekeeper of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's your sign?
Leo,
Happy birthday.
thank you.
When is it?
July 29th?
Oh, so you
I
already had
just
your
had it.
birthday.
Yeah,
Happy
44.
Birthday. Yes, period. I feel like you must have Libra in your chart somewhere. You have to. You have to. Or like Aquarius, you're like, you keep the peace. Or at least you have
Yeah.
from what I've seen.
Yeah, I try to. It gives
Yeah.
me so much anxiety. I hate conflict. I just don't. It's just not in me. I just want to, do my job and coexist. If I don't like somebody, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to talk to you.
Right.
But the show makes it much more difficult because in normal life, you can just like decide don't talk to them.
Yeah.
And don't say anything. Well, production doesn't allow that. They're like,
No.
well, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And what they said this. What do you have to say about that? And so you have to talk about it.
Right.
So it causes some issues.
Yeah. No,
Just
I
be the least.
know. I know. I did a reality show way back when I was in college or just had graduated from college. And it taught me so much about how reality TV works behind the scenes. Like the things that people don't see when you do have that
Yeah.
producer that comes over to you and is like, Mary.
Right? They kneel down next
Yeah,
to you.
yep,
And
yep,
you're
yep.
like,
And really close.
okay,
So I don't know how to tell you this, but I just heard her over there. She was saying blah, blah, blah. And I just think you should confront her. If I were you, like that's what I would do. And it's like, if you're not genuinely friends with the people who are on these shows, like when you watch Real Housewives or something like that, sometimes the first day that they're filming is the first time that they're meeting each other.
Right.
You guys, however, have been working together for years.
Yeah.
You're like a founding member.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough for me. I think most of the girls don't care. I mean, they're just like, they're trying to maybe maintain their reputation, and so they fight about things more or something like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it just does the opposite. It's like, but by doing that, it just makes us all look dumb. and,
Yeah.
and it's I think it's kind of human nature to do that, like just kind of defend yourself, and even if you don't need to. But I just can't do it.
Well, I feel like even with being the peacekeeper, well, are you the peacekeeper like in your everyday life? Like generally, are you that
Yeah.
friend in like your individual friend groups?
Yep. Unfortunately.
Do you ever feel like people take your kindness for weakness.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that people think that because I don't argue and stuff, I'm like, to me, I think it takes more strength to keep composure, try to fix a problem and move on, rather than just dig your heels in and try to prove your point. I'm like, well, being the bigger person is more difficult. So I do think people think I'm weak. I'm not. I don't like drama. I don't want it around. It distracts from what I'm trying to do, the image I want. And so yeah, I just want to move on. I want to sell houses. I want to have fun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is not fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I get that. I totally get that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely, I mean, I'm an eldest sister, so like I am all about keeping the peace, and you know, I like to stand up for people, but I have had times in my life where in doing that, people, I don't know, think that like they can try me,
or something.
yeah, and I'll be like, wait a minute, like, did I give you this illusion that like I'm someone who is to be played with,
right?
You know,
just because you're nice doesn't mean, or like peacekeeper doesn't mean that you're weak. But
exactly.
I think on season 8, I'm getting ready to go watch it after I leave here.
Stop.
Yeah.
I heard you on a red carpet say that you were scared.
A little bit, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think this is, I don't know what else is going to be in it, but this is the first season where I am kind of in the middle of some drama, and I don't really back down.
Oh.
So
in the middle,
I'm
meaning
still
like
me. I'm still me,
right.
Where, you know, I'm like, you know, if I'm wrong, I will apologize, but I will not take this. Like it was just some behavior was out of line, and I was like, you don't do that to me.
Oh.
And I was nice about it. I wasn't out of line. I wasn't yelling or anything. I was just like, don't ever do it again.
Oh.
So.
And was it a situation? I don't want you to give too much away.
Right.
I know you can't.
Right.
We have publicity here.
Uh-huh.
But was it a situation where you were the center of the drama, or where someone brought you into the drama, or you were causing the drama?
No, I didn't cause it, but there was a miscommunication, and then rumors kind of got started, and then the person came at me like hardcore, and I was like,
oh my God,
nope.
And that's so hard when you're on camera too, because it's like, especially if you're not prepared for that kind of confrontation, it's like, okay, how do I maintain my composure, stay true to who I am, like you said that you still are,
right,
but also like address this in a way that feels comfortable to me but satisfies what is happening on camera
in the moment too,
right? Yeah.
And I think back in the day, Christine used to like make fun of me. She's like like I can't talk. I'm like, no honey, I think about what I say before I say it.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. I don't just like let anything come out, because that can hurt people. It can ruin their reputation if I just say something, because people really think whatever's said is the truth. And that's not the case a lot of times. People will mix things up and like be dramatic about it and exaggerate a story, and you're like, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
But people believe it. The minute one of the girls say something, everybody under the sun believes it. And so I'm like, that's not fair. So right now I'm trying to actually keep the peace between other people, something that just happened, and I'm like, okay, everybody take your corners.
Seriously?
Take your corners. I'm like already doing it. And this season we haven't even started filming yet. It hasn't even aired. I'm like, no. I need a vacation.
Because I don't think they've announced when it's coming back out.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
they?
No, yeah.
They did?
It's coming out, was it next week, I think?
Next week?
It's on September 6th.
Oh my God. And so today you're going to watch like the first episode?
Oh, I watched the whole thing because we get it. We get the links to it to watch it so that we can answer like questions in press and stuff. And but we've already started doing a couple interviews, and then the press like knows and we don't, and I'm like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And that's how this whole thing started. Was because
because the press is like, so how do you feel about Mary saying blah blah blah, and they're like, she said that.
Yeah, and so
Oh
I've
my
got
God.
somebody call me. They're like, "What did they say?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's
can't.
starting again."
Yeah. Wow. You guys
Uh-huh.
have been doing this for so long. But it still probably gives you whiplash every single
Oh yeah,
time.
sure
Oh
does.
my
I don't
God.
think I'll ever get used to it. It's
Yeah.
just not in my DNA, and I don't know why I continue to do it. But
Mm.
I'm like, I'll never quit.
Yeah.
But because I love the show, I love being with my friends. It's just that drama.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Yeah,
But that's why people love it so much.
yeah, I know.
Obviously. Well,
know.
now you're in, still obviously doing the show, but you're in another phase of life where you are now this author.
Yes.
You just announced that your book is coming out,
Yeah.
and there's supposed to be some like secrets in there, some stories that haven't been told. You said that you have
Yeah.
some things to say to
Yeah.
get off your chest, and I'm so intrigued by the before Selling Sunset. Like,
Yeah.
obviously everybody knows you from the show,
Right.
but like, you started somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and even your story of being a teen mom, like finding out that you were, take me back to when you found out that you were pregnant at what, 15?
Uh-huh. Yeah, 15.
Where were you in life? What was happening?
High school. I think I was a sophomore in high school.
Wow.
Yeah. It was shocking to say the least. First boyfriend, first guy I ever had sex with.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like maybe a couple times.
Damn.
And I know. How unlucky am I? Right?
No,
know.
no. I mean, I'm sure you felt that way when you were 15. I can't even. What was I doing at 15? Some bullshit.
Probably having fun.
I was doing some
You
bullshit
were
for sure.
yeah.
For sure. But wow. And then you find out that you're pregnant. How did that conversation go with your parents?
Oh, it was mortifying. Like I was a cheerleader at the time, and we had like a state final kind of thing, and I was like, I can't let the girls down, and so I had to keep it a secret. So, and it was so stupid because I was like, it was kind of dangerous, really.
Right,
but I was
yeah.
like, I can't tell anybody. I was so scared, and so I went ahead and I went to the competition, and so I
Wow.
had to do tumbling and everything like that, and we were doing like the basket tosses. And
Oh my
luckily I was on
God,
the bottom,
yes.
so I was catching, not actually being.
But still, I was a cheerleader too, and as
Yeah.
a back, like that's a lot of weight that comes down on you. You're like, arms distance,
Oh,
girl.
I was terrified. Yeah, but I was
Wow.
more terrified to tell my parents because
Yeah.
at that point, I was just in a whirlwind. I had no idea what to do. I was just like shaking, like at all times. And finally, I just had to basically go 1, 2, 3, go, and just like I would repeat the same thing over and over. And I go through in the book. I go through like moment by moment, like from that point of view. It's kind of written like a fiction, like where you can read through and like the dialogue and everything to really have people in the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was pretty scary. They did not take it well. My mom yelled, my dad cried. And that broke my heart.
Yeah.
Like, because I love my dad. He's just like, he's my hero, and I let him down. And I broke his heart. And so that right there, I was like, no one needed to yell at me. I was like,
Yeah.
I was just, what do you do?
Yeah. You felt it yourself.
oh,
You were
yeah.
probably, beating yourself up about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was
Wow.
terrified. After a while, they were okay. They wanted me to give him up for adoption. Obviously, once I had him, they changed their mind because they love
Yeah.
him more than anything. But in the moment, they wanted me to do that, and I was raised Catholic, so abortion wasn't really an option. And for me personally, I think I'm pro-choice, but I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I'm glad. I mean, he's my
Yeah.
miracle baby. So
I know. And that finding that out now, I
after so many years,
right.
yeah.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Oh,
I
thank
mean,
you.
I'm so proud of you though for speaking up and telling people your story, because miscarriage is so common.
Yeah.
But we're just now becoming more comfortable talking about it amongst women, even.
Right.
Not even just to the world, but just amongst each other.
Yeah.
And
there's like shame or
Yeah.
something with it, or just like it shouldn't be so like a taboo thing to talk about,
Right.
like, because it's like 50%
Yes.
of pregnancies in a miscarriage, but no one talks about it, and most of the time you don't know why, but the statistics are going up on that, like where at a younger age people just cannot get pregnant.
Yeah.
And so that's I'm on the board of directors for a women's health organization, AAGL, and trying to raise money to help with like the research and global outreach to help women in impoverished areas and stuff to get health care. But it's just staggering numbers.
Yeah.
For like in so many different things. Endometriosis, it's like 8 out of 10 women are misdiagnosed or not diagnosed.
Right.
And
exactly.
I'm like, what is that? Like, why? And so
yeah.
we're trying to educate like ER doctors and everything like that.
Yeah.
On, what the symptoms are. Because, they're looking at other things. They're like, oh,
Right.
you have pelvic pain. And they're coming in. They're like, oh, probably kidney stone or something. It's like, no, you need to look at these things because this is very common.
It's so common, but
Yeah.
women are so unheard in so many different facets of life, just in
Yep.
general. But this being like a superpower that so many women have,
Yeah.
you would think that people would spend more time wanting to learn more about it and like why it's not happening for some people, why it happens more for other people, why there's so many different complications. And you yourself had a major complication in your last pregnancy. Do you mind sharing
Sure.
what that was like? Because I had never even heard of this.
Oh yeah, I know it's rare. It's very rare. So, but I've been through IVF. I've been through like egg freezing, embryo freezing, trying to do all these things, and I've had multiple miscarriages. I got pregnant with twins a while back, and I don't know how many years ago, through IVF, and miscarried on both of those.
Wow.
And had one other miscarriage, and then found out that I basically can't carry full term or really keep a pregnancy because I have a septum in the middle of my uterus, and it prevents there's not enough like blood flow and space for a
both
baby to
sides.
grow and everything and to develop all the way. So the problem is no one told me.
Yeah.
I went through IVF and they're looking at my uterus and no one told me. They never paid attention or just didn't tell me.
With an intravaginal ultrasound, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And I've had both, but my son's basically like a miracle. He really is a miracle because I
Wow.
was so young. Maybe I was just able to do it, and he just got implanted in the exact widest spot to where there was enough room to grow, and probably because of my age, it was very healthy
Yeah.
uterus at that time, and so yeah, he's kind of a miracle. So I can have surgery and have it removed, and hopefully that would change the situation. But it's just a lot to go through. So
Right. No, it's so much to put your body through. But
yeah.
the septum, were you born with it?
Yeah, I was born with it.
And not at any point did any doctor say, and this is what I'm saying.
Nope.
Because we
I
spend
know.
all this money and we do all these treatments and we do all these tests, and it's crazy
Yep.
that like, it's like, is anybody paying attention?
I know. And the way I found out, and that's exactly it. That is their job.
Yeah.
And they're either not paying attention or they didn't care because they were getting my money. And that to me is so unacceptable. I could have changed it a long time ago when I was much younger,
Right.
and I had enough eggs and a healthier uterus, and I could have done something more back then. And now I'm 44, and so it's like, and I went in for a full body scan, and just overall health, just to see catch if there were any signs of cancer, or
Like
any sort of-
unrelated.
yeah, completely.
Oh, like one of
unrelated.
those, that, oh my
Prenuvo?
God. Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God, that thing is amazing. I have
I heard
recommended
about
it.
You're like the third person to mention it to me recently. So I'm like, do I need to get on this?
I could not recommend it more because it's I found out I had a ruptured implant, and then also, and I didn't feel it. So then I sent Amanza in. I was like, you need to go get this. 'Cause
Yeah.
she had like the back surgery. She had all these things. And so I was like, you need to go in. She found out both of hers are ruptured. And then Chriselle goes and she's like, God, mine are about the same age as your guys. And she's like, we all have vintage boobs.
Oh my
and so
vintage boobs is amazing.
Right? And then they're all like 20 years old. We're like, yeah, they're vintage.
Oh
like,
my God.
So she was like, maybe I should go. Both of hers are ruptured too. We all had to go in and have surgery.
Is it that easy to rupture?
Well, I think, I don't know, but they were all 20 years old, and apparently.
I heard something about like you're supposed to swap them out every like 10 years or something, but that feels excessive.
It does feel excessive. I went in at around 15 years, and I asked if I should get them removed or get them swapped out.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, if they're not broke, don't fix them. They look good. Something happened in the last 5 years. I was like, I don't know if Romaine got a little too frisky or what, but I don't know. But if that's the case, Romaine's just like, well, what happened to mine then? She's like, I'm single.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And then that's
found
how
out
they
about
found
my
it.
uterus. Yeah. Yeah. My friend, he's a doctor. He's on the board with me. He's a OBGYN, like world-renowned doctor. And he was sitting there next to me. He came over from Tel Aviv, and he was sitting next to me. We were doing like some videos and stuff for education for women, for social media and stuff. And I got the results back. And so he's looking at the scans, and he was like, whoa. He's like, what is this? And the radiologist was like, yeah, this is what I want to point out. He's like, did you know you have this? I was like, absolutely not. And, it was like, you've had that since birth. I was like,
did you
I'm
print
sorry,
it out and like
what?
run into your IVF clinic? I would have been like, give me all of my money back immediately.
I should, but no, I'm just trying to educate people. Like, do not, like, if you know something's wrong, or if there's some, do not listen to people. Like, like your doctor, if they're not fixing the problem, if they're not listening to you, find a new doctor.
Yeah.
If you know there's something wrong, just go.
Right.
And make them listen.
Yeah.
We're the only ones that are gonna fight for us. I mean, you have to fight for yourself.
Right. You're 1000% right. I've been in the process of, finding out more about egg freezing and doing all these things for myself.
Yeah.
And I went to my regular OBGYN before I even looked into anything. I was like, okay, I was on birth control. I'd been on birth control for 18 years. Yeah. I finally go to my OBGYN. I'm like, I'm thinking about getting off birth control. Like, just wanted to get your thoughts. A woman, mind you. And I'm like, just telling her that I just want to see how things are looking down there. And she's like, okay, well, we can run all these tests, which she didn't tell me that I should not be running because I was on birth control at the time. But she's like, we can do this test and blah, blah, blah. And it'll tell us like what your egg reserve is looking like, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, the results come back and they're abysmal. There's nothing there. Like, she's
because
like, because I'm being suppressed.
Yeah.
My ovaries are suppressed. Nothing's happening.
And she didn't even
say anything to me. And then I went to an IVF doctor, and he was like, you got to get off the birth control before we can even look at this. And I called my mom, and my mom was like, this is why they say that doctors, which no shade to doctors, we need doctors. We love doctors. We love nurses. We love all that.
Have to step it up.
They got to step it up. She's like, this is why they say that they're practicing medicine, because they're just practicing. They don't know it all, you know? And not everybody knows it all. And like, that's what they say.
If that's your specialty.
Right. You should know a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, don't give the girl who's been on birth control for 18 years an ovary exam. Like, hello, her ovaries are knocked out. They've been dormant in a coma for 18 years, which, like, don't regret that part of my life. I had a great life. But, like, when you're finally at the age, I always say, like, you don't know that you can get pregnant until you get pregnant. You don't know that you can carry a baby to term until you carry a baby to term. You don't know you can have a healthy pregnancy until you've had a healthy pregnancy.
Right.
But as little girls, I feel like we all grow up. I mean, if you've ever dreamt of having kids, you grow up thinking like, I'm going to grow up one day, I'm going to be able to get pregnant and I'm never going to have any issues.
And it's more and more, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So I go into all of that in my book and like talk about all the details of all of that. And then just a lot of other stuff that's happened. Like, hopefully it'll help people because, from all different stages in life, how I got through it, like what my outlook was, because I feel like everybody always feels like when you're in a situation that's bad or scary or whatever, unfortunate, that it's hard to look past that. It's hard to feel like you're going to get through it and have, I guess, like optimism and a positive outlook on it. But so I just kind of give advice on how I got through a bunch of things that are like pretty shitty.
Yeah. Well, I love that it's called Selling Sunshine.
Yeah.
Because you're like a ray of sunshine.
Oh.
You know this. You have to.
I try.
You have such a good like aura. Your aura is like, I don't know. I'm
Thank
not an
you.
aura reader, but I would give you like bright blue, like baby blue.
Oh, thank you.
You have like a baby blue aura. I don't know if it's because
you.
your eyes are blue,
Yeah, my eyes are blue. I don't know.
but I can't really see your eyes from here. It's a baby blue aura. For those listening,
My eyes are blue. Yeah.
Mary's aura is baby blue.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's, I mean, obviously you've had your hardships, you've had your shit that you've had to go through and work through.
Yeah.
Even with real estate, like I heard that you started selling homes because you were having such difficulty like finding a place.
Well, no, not really. I actually, I loved finding places.
Yeah.
And so I would just uproot myself and my son like every year because I was so obsessed with looking at new places.
Oh,
I know.
girl,
It was so ridiculous. And I was like, what am I doing after moving so many times? And it's expensive to move. And I didn't have money back then.
right.
But I loved it so much. I was like, I have to find a new place. And it was like this gold mine. When I would finally find the right one, I'd look at all these places. I'm like, no, look, okay, this one has this one has this. And find different neighborhoods. And every neighborhood in LA is like completely different. It gives like a whole different vibe. And then all the different styles of architecture and everything. Now, I just loved. And so I would do that. And then finally I was like, what am I doing? Like, why don't I actually just do this for work and get paid instead of like emptying my bank account every year?
Paying the real estate agents. That's what it was. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That it was like, why am I paying these brokers when I could be the one?
Yeah.
I
know,
could
all
be the one doing
moving
it.
fees and all that stuff. I'm like, well, I am like draining my bank account every single year because I have to like, find a new place because I could, I only leased back then. Like that's all I could afford to do. But still, it was a lot of money.
Yeah. No, it is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I bought my first home, 3 years ago now?
It's a lot of money.
When that down payment leaves your account, whoa.
I know.
I was not prepared. This is the most money I've ever spent in my life.
Me too.
And I had to keep reminding myself. Like, do you have advice for first-time home buyers? Like what their mantra should kind of be when they're going into it? Because I just had to keep thinking, the money's not going away. It's just going to another place.
You're investing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it does not make it feel any better when you have to, when you wire that final down payment, you're like,
I was sick. I was sick. I literally hit send and had to sit down. I had to hold my laptop. I think I was naked on my couch. Actually. I might have been in a rope, but I was like, I've never felt more vulnerable.
Yeah. I do this for a living and I still felt like that. I'm like, but it's legit. That is a lot of money. Yeah. In LA, it is not cheap to live here. Not. So I had the same feeling. And I just think any advice is just you're investing it. And LA has a very, very good rate of return. We never really crash. We stay pretty stable compared to the rest of the country. And the money's not going anywhere. It's just not in the same location.
Right.
You're making money on it.
Right.
That's
after
true.
A while. Oh my God. It's just
I know. I
even property taxes. I'm like, I couldn't just I don't know. This is just, I don't know. Listen, I love what you do. No shade. But I tell my friends, just keep renting. I'm like, buying is a scam. Just don't do it. It's too much work.
Well, it is a lot. I know. I'm right there with you.
I'd rather just be able to pick up the phone and call the landlord and be like, hey, garbage disposal is not working. Me literally today. Yeah. Garbage disposal just stopped working. I'm like, who do I even call for this? Yeah. This is not my jurisdiction. I don't know. I'm just a talent.
Well, I'm lucky I have my husband. And so he's very handy and he can do. I know. So I do. I'm like, honey,
yes.
all the time.
Yes.
And then sometimes he's like, okay, so babe, there's I was like, no. How much is it going to cost? I was like, don't don't go there. Like, you better be able to fix it.
Yeah.
He's
He's
like,
I feel like he knows how to do everything.
he figures it out, or he has a lot of the contractors he works with that he'll end up getting us like really good prices, like to do something if he can't do it. He's not much of a plumber. He loves electrical though. And he's just very, very handy. But
Yeah.
if he could learn how to put in a pool, I would be very happy.
That would be ideal.
Because they are expensive too. And that's
Pools are insane.
Yeah.
Pools and kitchens, forget it.
Yeah. We just redid our kitchen, even though it was brand new. But
what did you want different?
I have changed the entire house when I spent like the max of my budget, and I was like, but we won't have to change anything.
Yeah.
No, I went through and
But
I've
then
changed
you changed
literally
everything.
everything. Yeah, I turned a room into a closet.
But that was necessary.
It was necessary, and I'm outgrown that closet. So I'm like, we might have to like do an addition because we're not going to have any guest rooms later because I keep taking over the bedrooms.
Yeah. I'm in such an enabler. I'm like, of course you need
I know, right? I know. My husband's going to be like, leave now.
It's going to be like, turn this shit off right now.
Oh my gosh.
But you met him also through real estate.
Yes, I did.
Which is crazy.
I was talking to him for probably about 4 months on WhatsApp because I was introduced from, a mutual person, and he was coming over from Paris to be a pastry chef, and his visa got delayed, and so it took a bit more time, and I was sending him things, and he was like, I don't know how much you think I'm making, but he's like, no, that's out of my budget. And I was like, oh, sorry.
There's this really nice mansion that you could live in.
Well, the thing is, I never looked at his picture because I was dating somebody back then, and we happened to break up right before, like a month before he came. And so I moved out, and I was just like focused on that, and he finally said, okay, hey, I just arrived, and I was actually in France, funny enough, for a friend's wedding, and then came back, picked him up. He hops my car, and I was like, oh, hang on. I'm sorry.
You're like, this is what I've been talking to for? This is like a half a story gone right.
Have you been here this whole time? I was like, where was I would have been like, bye.
Yeah.
To the other. It was like, not nice. He wasn't a very nice guy. So, so I was like, what was I doing? Why didn't I just look at the picture?
You were working.
I was working, yes. But I mean, I'm also very loyal when I'm with somebody. I just, what would be the point? I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, in hindsight, I was like, I should have looked. Even if it was just looking, I should have looked.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And then how long until you started like dating for real?
Probably less than a week.
Stop.
Yeah.
What's his sign?
Gemini.
Oh.
I know. I know.
Gemini
I'm not
scare me, girl. They're scary.
But you know, he's honestly, he jokes around about it, but he says he has 33 personalities, and he's absolutely accurate. He's amazing most of the time. He just has just don't talk to him about his driving. Because he's very defensive about that. And
they get moody, those Geminis. They can get
only about
moody.
driving. He's very patient with me, at least.
That's good.
But yeah, he's no nonsense.
Yeah.
Like if you cross him,
Yeah.
you're done.
And he's French. I feel like you can't fuck with the French. You gotta be on your P's and Q's.
He is stubborn. Oh my gosh, he is stubborn. Like if he digs his heels in, give up. Because he will not change his mind. He will not let go. Like, you are not gonna change him. Like, he is just, he's very French like that.
Yeah. I feel like people make a big deal about your age gap a lot, and I love that you're like, if it was like a gender roles reversed,
no one would care.
No one would care.
It's but
12 years?
13. Yeah.
Do you feel like, from guys you've dated who are the same age as you to him, like, do you feel like there is a big difference, positive or negative?
No, he's more mature than most of my friends that are in their 40s, and he's very mature as far as relationships go.
Yeah.
His stubbornness is the only thing that just, I see if there's anything that I could criticize or something, It's just him being stubborn. But again, I'm not going to criticize it because it's just who he is.
They all have something.
Yeah.
There's no.
I mean, I'm not perfect either. So
I am.
Yeah.
That's what I tell my boyfriend.
Ways.
That's what I tell my boyfriend whenever he says anything. I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm perfect. I don't do anything wrong." But I love that you guys feel like a real team.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you guys operate like a genuine team.
Yeah, we've found our way. I mean, like we're not perfect like any relationship. We've had our ups and downs, and but we've kind of found our way where even if I think when we've had a bad day, that used to really cause us to fight because it had nothing to do with us. It wasn't even about the other person, but we'd come home and kind of like be moody and we're like, why are you being rude to me?
Yeah,
and,
right. Yeah.
And we'd get all like bent out of shape about it. Now we're like, okay, like I'm like, honey, I've got a lot of work to do, so I'm gonna go to my office and close the door. I'm like, get out of the way. And he does the same thing. If he sees I'm just in like a shitty mood, he's like, honey, I'm really tired tonight. I'm gonna go to bed. And so he's like, we just go to our separate corners.
Yeah.
We wake up in the morning.
Back
We're
to
fine.
normal.
Yeah.
It's boundaries.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really just boundaries. How do you guys maintain those boundaries with filming the show? Because a lot of times reality TV producers, like they try to meddle a lot behind the scenes. And I feel like you have to have a really strong foundation to like come back to and be like, this is what they said. This is what we're going to do. Like we don't have to operate on the same wavelength. How do you guys manage it?
You know, that's never really been a problem because I mean, he's no nonsense. I mean, you cannot push him to do anything. Good luck.
Yeah.
And they've tried it, and then in the beginning, and they're like, you're not getting anywhere with him.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. He'll just sit there. He's like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
You did. Ask me again. See what happens. And then we're like, okay. They're like, no, it's okay. We'll ask somebody else. He's like, what, like, and so he's so stubborn, like, but they know they're not getting anywhere with him, and so I never have to worry about what he says. Like, he's never gonna say anything bad about me. He's never gonna like do anything. We just have each other's back, really, and that's what all there is to it.
Right.
To us, it's pretty easy. It's like, have your man's back, have your wife's back. It's like that's
simple.
That's it. Yeah, they can't come between you if you're just a united front,
right?
And yeah.
Well, there are a lot of people who don't have their partners back, not on reality TV.
Right.
Right.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, so having your partners back and being in the spotlight is like a whole other level. But you guys handle it very well.
Yeah. I think it's just, there's so much on the line too. It's like to me, maybe it's just a maturity kind of thing in the relationship because, you can, like, to your girlfriend, you can go and whine and bitch about, like, your husband or something, like, because you're frustrated with him that day. You can't do that, like, on a reality show, because then the world is listening to that and they think because you have an opinion or you're venting one day, it's not really the truth. You know how much we exaggerate when we're venting? We're like, well, he does this all the time, and and it's like, no, okay, he did it once and you're just frustrated,
right?
Like, I mean, so to like exaggerate and to like just vent on TV, I'm like, no, you don't do that.
Yeah. You're smart.
Yeah.
You're smart, because a lot of people don't. And then the whole world gets to critique and like make comments about your relationship, which they love to do it too. I hate that. Yeah. How do you handle that?
I didn't do it very well in the beginning. I would spend so much time killing people with kindness, because when they would say something, and normally when I would get mad, it's when they would attack Romain, and they would say something that's polar opposite of his character, and I would get really frustrated, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Leo
and
comes out. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. But I'm never going to be mean to someone because I'm like, well, that makes me no better than them. Like, and then if I try to hurt somebody else, so I'm like, I'm going to make them understand what they're doing and make them feel bad on their own.
Yeah.
So I just kill them with kindness. But it takes me like 2 hours to do, like, write the perfect response.
Wow.
I do not have time to do that on every single hater.
Right.
But I would do it where I'm like, listen, like, you don't know me and I don't know you. And so you only know this, like, small part of what you saw. And so you obviously, this is something very sensitive, like, to you, because otherwise you would not reach out to a stranger being this critical and this like upset. So what can I do to help? This is obviously you've been through something, so
You're
can I
very
help
kind.
you? Like what can
You're
like do
very,
you,
very nice. This is where Selling Sunshine comes in. 'Cause
Yeah.
I would be like, fuck you, fuck your mom, everybody in your life. I'm not good at. I'm not good with it. I'm not good with it.
Well, but changing one person at a time, no, because
Right.
when they end up responding back, they're like, "Oh my, I feel so terrible." You're right. Like
They don't expect you to reply.
Yeah, either not reply or to be mad, where they're like, "See,"
Yeah.
like, and they're not expecting that, and they're not expecting me to try to help them.
Yeah.
And I would if they really needed it, because if you get healed a little bit more, you're not going to spread that hatred to other people. It's tough. Like being in the public eye and having so many people just hate on you about anything and everything you do.
Yeah.
You're too fat, you're too thin, you're too spazzy, you're too calm, you're too this and that. It's like every single thing you do. It's like people want to criticize, and there's just no need for it.
Yeah.
It's like just if with jealousy, I just feel like people should like, if you're jealous of somebody, like, then look at what they're doing and try to be like that person and try to do what they're doing. You don't need to be mean about it because you don't have it. Try to get it. Try to figure out what they're doing right. And I just have a different view of it. And I'm like, the whole bullying thing needs to go.
I know. But I feel like because you've been through so much and you've already overcome so much, you're like, I'm a grown-ass woman. And I don't have to deal with this nonsense of people on the internet. And then you do have a strong relationship. You have a strong foundation at home.
Yeah.
How has Romaine shown up for you, with, the fertility journey and everything that's been going on? Like, how has he shown up for you? Because he's also going through it.
Yeah, he is. He's just very supportive, always. Like, he just has my back, and he's just very, very thoughtful. I was worried about him with the miscarriage, because he would not focus on himself, and he was sad too. He was, going through it just like I was, but he would not even put himself in that equation at that time. Like, he was so worried about me, because it was a septic miscarriage, and so I got really, really sick, and so he was just really worried about me. But he's just always there, no matter what it is. When I said one time I wanted to quit the show, it was, I think, after that Palm Springs thing, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I was all hopped up on hormones from IV, or from the embryo freezing, and then all the girls. And my dad called, saying he had like a health scare right as I was pulling in, and I was just like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. He's like, whatever you need, babe. And so I was like, he's just always just so supportive, and so I'm lucky. Oh,
he's lucky too. You guys are. I'm so happy that you found each other, because it's beautiful what you two have.
Thank you.
It really, really is. And everything that you've built for yourself, like, what is next?
A lot. I have a lot on my plate right now. The book tour, I've been doing like public speaking for women empowerment and stuff like that, and then I've got I'm working on like a sunglasses capsule line, doing that, designing my own.
Okay.
I know. God, I'm obsessed with sunglasses.
Yes. So. I'm excited to see you like get out of whatever luxury vehicle on the show and like slow motion with the sunglasses.
Oh yeah, I'll do it too.
Yes,
they love those slow-mo walks.
They're so good. Honestly, the cameras, I don't know what cameras y'all got. I'm like, I need those following me every day of my life.
Oh, there's a lot of lighting and a lot of, they do a lot of editing too, because sometimes we're like, guys, like, probably like today right now, like where it's been this morning, I got my makeup done for something else, and then by the end of the day, it's just like all over my face.
You look amazing.
And I'm like,
but
guys.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you
They're
mean.
like, don't worry about it. We'll fix it. And
it's in post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool.
They do it so well.
I know.
They make everybody look so good.
Yeah, they're nice to us.
Yeah. Ugh. Are there any other themes in the book that you think that people will be surprised to hear about from you?
Oh, yeah. I go into a situation. I was sexually assaulted, raped a couple years ago, right before the show started. And so going through that I guess I went into it because I've heard so many people have been, kind of victims of different things like this. And so I went into it just to try to explain what happened and how I have tried to overcome it, and with therapy and EMDR and stuff, because it is very helpful. And then also the things that I missed, and to, like, there were signs of what was going on, and I knew better than to be in a certain place like that, but to try to maybe hopefully save somebody else, like where they think about that and they're like, wait, this could happen, because it's so many times I think women just go into things thinking, oh, it'll be fine, nothing's gonna happen. There's a lot of creeps out there.
There are a lot of fucking creeps out there.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm so sorry that happened to you, but I'm so happy that you're speaking up and sharing, because it is true. And even sometimes it's a slow burn. Sometimes it doesn't happen as, fast, and sometimes it's not a stranger. Sometimes it's somebody that you know.
Yeah. And it was someone I knew.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You getting deep in this book.
I do. I know. And a lot of it goes into, just how, like, it's before the show. Of course, I talk about spill the tea a little bit, like on the show, and talk about some things that are really important to me and why, and kind of raise awareness for some stuff. But most of it's about just how, like, all the hurdles, like, and give people hope. I think that wherever you're at, it doesn't have to be the same situation, but life is not linear. For most people. Mine definitely has not been. I've been knocked down more than I can't even count how many times, but then just like get back up, and how to use those situations as tools to be better, and to not let those things happen again, and to just learn from it so you're wiser, instead of looking at it and as like, oh, this happened. It's like, how are you wiser now? Yeah. How are you going to take that and turn it into something positive? And so sometimes there's not a lot of positive that you can take from it, but do what you can.
Yeah.
Keep moving
you
forward.
You found it.
Yeah, keep moving forward.
I'm like, okay, we got Selling Sunshine, but then I feel like an alternative title would be Hail Mary, because you literally, I'm very inspired by you, and I'm just very happy for you as well.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything. Tell everyone where they can find you, where they can find the new season of Selling Sunset, which, if you don't know that, I don't know what you're doing with your life, and the book.
Yeah. Okay. So Selling Sunset airs September 6th on Netflix, of course. And my book is Selling Sunshine. It is available for pre-sale now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all kinds of places, and it comes officially out in bookstores on September 24th, and then I'll be doing a couple book signings in LA on September 26th, and then in Huntington Beach at Barnes & Noble's on the 25th.
Oh, great!
Instagram, the Mary Bonnet, TikTok, and Instagram.
You've been cranking out the content also.
I just did some more. You guys are going to laugh so hard. Bree and I just had a good time recently doing some content.
Girl.
It's going to be hilarious. She loves her TikTok.
Yeah. You guys are all of you, honestly, are really, really good at using social.
Yeah.
And like posting consistently. That's my problem. I
assistant, I do too. My assistant has to tell me constantly. She's like, take pictures, get content. And I'm like, ooh, I forgot. She's like, I literally just texted you.
Well, because I can tell that you're like me. Like, I like to be in the moment with people. I don't really like to be on my phone doing a bunch of stuff. And so then it'll be the whole
You're
event
missing your life sometimes. But, it's important. Yeah. And so it is fun. And so we'll do whole content days. And then she'll come over and we'll film. And it's a lot of fun. Yeah. But I have to take time out because I'm not very good at just like, oh, let me post that.
Yeah. No, I forget.
I know.
All the time. Posting in real time. I'm like, what is that? Ugh. Anyway, everyone go out and get Mary's book right now. I believe by the time this airs, it'll be, I think the book will actually be out like 4 days from then or something.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. Don't count me to that. But we're going to put everything in the show notes so you guys can get the book. You can watch Selling Sunset. You can support Mary.
Yes. Or autographed copies and everything. Come see me.
Oh, really? Yes, right. Of course. At the
Yeah.
meetups. Oh, those are going to be packed out.
I think it's still available on one of the sites for the autograph copies, isn't it? If you can't make it to, yeah, we'll give you the link.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Of
Mary.
course, yeah.
Bye.
Bye.